What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Tonight we're doing something just a little bit different. Rand Dizzle and I went out a couple weeks ago, went fishing. We didn't have a bunch of time. Looked like it was going to be pretty good conditions. We had cloud cover, kind of windy, but we caught fish, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So first I'm going to show you the footage. We're going to go over a couple things that I noticed going back and looking at this, and things that I always look for when I go out to fish. I have people, probably the most common question that people send me on Instagram, private message and stuff is, Debo, I haven't caught any fish. Where do you look for fish? How are you catching them? What should I use? So tonight we're going to go over how I caught them, what I was looking for, in hopes of helping you so you can look for things similar in the places that you fish and hopefully have more success the next time you go out bank fishing. So just because conditions are tough and things happen, get out there anyway. You can't catch fish. You can't catch your new PB unless you're out there fishing. So if you're ever in doubt, go fish anyway. Even if only catch one or two or you get skunked, who cares? You can't catch them unless you go out.
I don't get it. You'd think there'd be a bunch of fish in this flooded stuff.
You'd think something would definitely want something huge to stay.
Thought that was a fish right there. It was just a nice little stick. Oh! Look at that. Almost got you there.
Yeah, almost.
What happened?
Me? What happened to me? There was a jig flying up.
Did I get you mid-cast?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that dude came up right here, right along this.
Trying to protect my young.
Oh, had another one follow it in there. Little guy.
I just want to stand away from you.
I didn't get you. My gosh, you're so sensitive.
Yeah, because I got cat-like speed reflexes.
Got him. All right, first one on the day for me on the swim jig. Hiding up in this stuff. Chunky little guy. Good golly, look at the belly on him. Little dude, but man. Swim jib stuck him well. All right, there we go. First one for me on the day. Got a belly. Definitely been eating. All right, little guy. Keep eating.
Oh. Not recording. Not recording. Oh well. There he goes. Son of a biscuit. Perfect. Now if it just gets down. Oh! Smoked it. How do I, oh, sorry, buddy. Stop! Stop. He hit it like it was a 20-pounder.
Yours have been deeper? Yours have been deeper?
No, I caught him in the mouth.
Ah, there's one. Up in the old flooded timber. I figured there have to be some fish up here in this flooded stuff. All right, number two for me. Again, Debo Dink, but pitching the old Texas rig in the wood. How many times have I said it? Find wood, pitch to wood. Bounce it a couple times, hope for some fish in this flooded timber. All right, can we find more? There we go. Dangerous territory over here. There we go. Best one of the day. Flipping the wood. What do I say? Find wood, pitch to wood. Hopefully find a fish just like that. Solid, I don't know, £1.75 maybe. There we go. Good looking little fish. We'll take him. Pitch into the old log. What do you know? Fish hiding under a log. Who'da thunk it? Another decent fish on the Texas rig. See you, guy. Well, I'm done with the Texas rig. Broke off.
You're just gonna leave everything over there?
I saw you get a couple rods here. Can I borrow one?
No.
Can I borrow your underspin? Why? Oh! Woo! The hell happened there?
It's my first time. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Missed another one? Got him! Man, that reel handle. Got him on the frog. What? Don't know, might have. All right, there we go. Well, my first one on the frog. I figured there's no way that there can't be fish out here on this flooded timber. There he is, one leg in. Thank goodness. All right, well, a little over a pound, but we'll take him on a day like today. It's been, again, a struggle. I feel like I keep saying it. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. That's a fish. Over a pound. I'll take him. Thank you. Go.
I just wanted to see what a fish looked like.
It's done that multiple times.
It sounded weird.
It's like it's slipping inside.
See wood, pitch the wood.
Okay, so to break those down, number one, the first thing I was doing was throwing that swim jig. The vegetation and that mossy, slimy stuff, it was gross. It was everywhere. Rocks, sticks, anything that you bumped into had that disgusting stuff on it. I wanted to run a spinnerbait with the cloud cover and the wind. Perfect spinnerbait weather. If we could have got a little bit more offshore, had a boat, we probably would have had better luck. But instead I was throwing a swim jig. Now the swim jig comes in handy because it's so weedless. You know, it doesn't have a bunch of stuff to hang up on it. I was just throwing a bluegill color with a sungill little dipper on there. Perfect little bluegill imitation. It did well. I had a number of fish, all very shallow and all tucked up to cover along that piece of wood. Along this piece of wood here, you can see it looked like an old beaver dam or a log jam, something. I don't know what it was, but both Randy and I caught fish off that. Anytime you see big clumps of wood like that all massed together, there's generally always fish on that. Spend a little bit more time. I threw at it from one direction, didn't catch any. I switched to the other side and found one. So swim jig like that, nice and weedless, comes through grass, comes over wood and everything really well. So anytime you have a spot like that where it's scummy, the swim jig is great, especially when they're shallow like that. You can bring it right up next to stuff, right up next to wood. You don't have to worry about getting hung up like you would with a chatterbait. Okay, thing number two that I noticed, isolated pieces of wood and flooded brush or wood, timber, whatever you want to call it. Anytime you've got little spots of that, the particular spot that we were fishing had little rows of submerged bushes. There were some boats that went in before us. So like I said, we were out pretty late in the day. It was afternoon. You know, earlier in the day, had we beat those guys, we probably could have had better luck pitching and flipping in that. But just a regular Texas rig is so great for beginners because it's weedless. You can flip this stuff in and around bushes, over logs. You're not going to get hung up all the time until, like you saw that I did, I was trying to drag it through rocks. That's when like a ball head jig or something excels a lot better than a Texas rig. This is usually kind of a one spot thing. Hop it a few times, take it out, throw it back somewhere else and keep doing that. As many presentations, as many different pitches as you can get. In that one spot, it took me 3 different pitches to that one log before that fish bit. So if you've got confidence in a spot, like that was just one big, huge isolated log, I knew there had to have been a fish on it, so I kept going to it. So if you have confidence in a spot like that, spend a little bit extra time because generally, you know, throwing a Texas rig like this, there's a fish there. And then for the bait I was using, I've had people ask me about these. That's the Reaction Innovations Kinky Beaver. I like this because it's a little bit bulkier profile, but it's still got appendages on it that move. Anytime the water's dirty, you want something with a little bit bigger profile to move water and something to kick and send vibrations for those fish to feel it through the lateral line. So a little bit bigger profile like that and with some action on it, this was doing well. It's one of my favorites. I feel like these kind of go under the radar. The Sweet Beaver was all I fished for the longest time, but something like this on it with some movement, little action, does really well. So a Texas rig around that flooded wood, bushes, and cover, and if you find one that's isolated and it just feels really fishy, spend a little bit more time there. Don't just throw once to it and move on. All right, and the third tip, the last one I caught was on that frog. So right before we had to go, it was really hot out. We were both kind of getting attacked by bugs in every sort of orifice possible, but a big, big brush clump, isolated brush clump, a big isolated brush clump. I was attacking it with the frog. I was going slow though, slow pops. That was dirty water, so it's not like they're just gonna see it as soon as it hits. Dirty water like that, you have to appeal to their other senses. So I was popping it slower, letting it splash, make a little bit more commotion, but keeping it in that strike zone right above that little brush pile. And the first cast I got to it, well, after I cleared the backlash, I caught that fish. So just because the sun comes out, it was still a little bit cloudy, but you know, the morning bite or that evening bite is where a lot of people only throw topwater. It's not the only time you have to throw topwater like that. Anytime you think there's a bass there that could be waiting to ambush, the frog does great. Again, for bank anglers, it's weedless. Happened to be this frog here. You're going to see more of this and me talking about this later, but it's that Megabass Big Gaboo. It's got that weird, they call it the catamaran mouth style, but it's almost like, you know, cupping your hand. You go in the water and cup your hand. That's exactly what this is doing. It spits and throws water really well. So something like that in dirtier water when there's a little bit of commotion when you're trying to draw those fish up. If I'd have had just a regular frog, I don't have one somewhere here, but just a regular frog with the pointed nose, and I was going real subtle, you know, a nice slow walk, chances are the fish would never even know that's there. So those are my 3 tips. Throw the swim jig if there's a lot of vegetation and such and you're trying to cover water. Tip number 2, attack that flooded vegetation, bushes, whatever it is, with a Texas rig. It's weedless. Chances are you're not going to get hung up and it gets bit. Tip number 3, don't be afraid to attack those isolated pieces of wood and brush or any sort of cover still in the middle of the day with the frog. Fish will eat it. As long as you think there's a fish there, you can generally get them to come up and at least attack that frog. And if they don't eat it, like I've said before, have a stick bait ready or even a Texas rig to follow up right there where it blew up, because chances are that fish is going to be active and waiting. You can usually get them on a follow-up bait. All right, fishing friends, that's going to do it for me tonight. Comment below and let me know if you like this type of video. I have a few different catches. I kind of walk you through them, let you know what I did, why I did it, what I was looking for. I hope this helps you out there. Like I said, I get this question a ton. So especially for you bank anglers out there that are just starting, trying to figure things out. There's so many variables that go into it. Whatever I can do to help. I'm no pro, but I'm happy to tell you what I know. So comment below and let me know if you like this type of video. Now, tonight's subscribe fishing friend goes to Dumbest Fisherman TV. I think you actually changed the name of your channel. You know who you are. You don't use the live baits a lot, but you still continue to watch and support my channel. I appreciate that a bunch. And thank you everybody else out there who continues to watch and support me. It really does mean a lot. I'm just a dude in Iowa swinging a stick around for fun, so I appreciate it. But that's it for me. It's late. I got to get to editing so you can all see this video tomorrow. So thank you all for watching, and until next time.